Dear listener, ClockTower is intended for mature audiences and might be inappropriate or possibly triggering to some. Many of the themes and events in ClockTower are inspired by weird fiction as well as similar concepts, which means the show can get dark. If that isn't something you enjoy, please listen at your own discretion. We here at the ClockTower care about you, so please put your mental health first. Our show will be here when you're ready.
Welcome to Season 2 of ClockTower, a D&D 5e experience. To all our old and new listeners, we're excited to have you here with us. ClockTower is a D&D campaign turned audio drama, played with a custom class and a few house rules that we as a group collectively enjoy. If you find yourself getting a little lost, there's always older episodes to guide you back to the path. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and welcome to the ClockTower. Corrosive fluid is splattered all around the room as it sizzles and eats away at the barn floor, at Trinket and Berret, as above them, this horrible wasp, raptor, spider-like creature made of warped and twisted flesh rages against its fixed point in the air, unable to move or get itself to the ceiling. It seems to scrabble as if it's reaching out, trying to grab anything it can, as from a distance, Sam still holds it tight, struggling as if it was on some sort of tether, Sam concentrating on the spell to keep it where it is, as Jaeger loads a few more bullets into his rifle, and Trinket and Berret stand ready to end this thing below it, as the both of them realize that if they kill this creature, they might never see this world again. This mission over.
I'm sorry, guys. Click.
And then suddenly, like a crushing wave washing all over all of you, Trinket, you're like axe swinging through the air towards the thing, and then you're like almost ripped away, and it's worse when you're pulled back, when you're actively trying to do something, because it's like your will to want to stay in that moment makes it feel like you can almost see the world washing away like around you, like being hit by a wave and trying to withstand a wave greater than you in the ocean until you like feel yourself physically lifted off of your feet and then crash into the couch. And I think of all of you, Trinket hits the couch the hardest, to the point where like you're not like sitting properly on the couch. You're like, your hands are in front of you like you were just holding your axe and you're on the couch.
What?
Ow.
What? Why?
I'm sorry. I needed time to think this through. I'm really proud of you guys. We absolutely laid into that thing, but I think we're almost a little too efficient. There's more to this world that I think could benefit us in the long run, and I think we can benefit these people in the long run as well. This is the only way I knew how to get out of it for the moment. I know how you guys feel. We could jump right back into it and lay it back down into the ground at any moment, but I needed a moment to speak to you guys.
I understand. It's kind of like the tree, right? We could have just solved it there, but then Donnie would have been dead. All the other shit would have been wrong. I mean, I get it. I wish you more warning, obviously, but I'm glad we're talking about it here.
You guys were moving fast, and damn, Trinket, you looked like you're about to finish that thing, so I had to act quick.
So, what else is there?
The eyes of the owl.
I do want those eyes. I'm not going to lie.
Right. I'm sure there's many reasons we could all come up with for wanting those, needing them even. They could really help us flush things out outside the tower.
It's probably for the best that Jasper doesn't have them. Not because Jasper's a bad person, and that's fine.
No, he's not.
But
right.
The moment someone else who might be able to work them gets their hands on the eyes, that could be an issue that brings us back here, and I'd rather not have it be something that was taken forcibly.
And we have the opportunity to handle it correctly this time. So let's not give our future selves more work than we need. And hopefully give these guys a better chance of whatever they wanted to do with their lives.
All right, so I agree, right? I'm on your side here, Berret. Absolutely. Obviously, Sam turns to Trinket. I think we should kill it. It's not, we have to kill it. And Sam turns back to Berret. But how do we want to do this? We can't trap it. I can hold it maybe up to 10 minutes.
And Sam, you know that if you guys go back to before that fight, before you managed to catch it, you might not be able to catch it again. If you do anything differently, if you go past where you guys just were, like right now, you guys can go back to literally the moment right before Berret hit the watch. Nothing has changed. You guys have an unlimited amount of time to think and talk about it. But if you go back and you change anything, you can't go back to that point again.
Thought process, just putting it out there. At this very moment, it's weakened, it's hurt. Yes, it's going to be leaving a trail of caustic fluid behind it the entire time, and we don't know exactly how it would try to heal itself, but if we can somehow lock it in place, maybe even chain it somehow, and Jaeger's gonna take a second and look around the room and see if we don't have any sort of chains in here or anything like that. There's no ClockTower based capture device that we can just find.
The only capture device you have in here is that lamp on the table.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put this thing in that lamp. Look, I at least want to have the eyes in place, in hand, before we finish this fight. But if there's more, if you already got all the research that was found, but there could be more. You're right. There could be more here that we missed.
And I'd also hate to leave these already broken people with just a broken barn and nothing else.
I mean, we're not just here to solve this.
Sam, roll an insight check.
7.
Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, I think we kind of lost. We're getting too. Sam waves their hands in the air.
Mechanical?
No, caught up in things. We're here to help people, right?
Right. And we at least know what this thing's capable of, possibly what its motives may be, and that seems to just grow and eat, consume, grow, and continue.
I mean, we don't know anything about what it actually wants.
Well,
to take care of.
It doesn't seem like it has a need for want, it has a need to survive. So, that makes it simple, but also out of our control in a way. So, I'd hate to see what else that thing could turn into. It seems like what it is right now is the best chance we're gonna get, which is probably why we're in this situation in the first place. So, the clock tower gave us, a week to get this done?
Fine. We take the entire week.
Mm-hmm.
We spend the time. We look around, we hunt, we research, we find what we need. Then, once we have that all in hand, we've touched it all, we've had it all brought back here, we click the watch again, come back to this moment, end it.
Berret, roll a history check.
15.
Sam touched most of that research.
Mm-hmm.
It should be up on the shelf, on top of the bookcase probably, where the new entries come in.
As my eyes dart to the top of the new incoming information. You know what? We've already got a pretty healthy stack of stuff from that world. Maybe we take a moment to steep in it. Maybe wind down from where we just came from. I think I see it right up there anyways. Now, hold on. Give me a minute.
Well, if you want to, I mean, say we go back at dinner, just let it do what it wants to do. We can reset that.
So it does hatch after that night, though. It does, no matter what. It's going to come out after that night. And I'm thinking the best thing that we could do for ourselves is maybe convince the mother that her son is not crazy, so she'll listen to us.
That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah, Thing is, if we just suddenly confirm all of her child's research, at least she'll know that he didn't get kicked out of school for no reason.
That too.
And then she'll actually listen to us. We can still do good, right? We can still help around the farm. But if we say, hey, don't go out for the next couple of days because there's a giant wasp knot thing stalking around that will kill you, let us handle it.
Trinket and Sam, both of you roll survival check, nature check, insight check, or history.
I'll take history.
Different answers for different things.
23.
Yeah, staying inside, as great advice as that might be, that thing did eat through a thick-ass wooden barn wall like it was nothing. And, Trinket, what'd you get?
15 for a nature check.
Yeah, that acid, it was burning through your clock tower garb.
Yeah.
That doesn't usually happen.
Because it's an eldritch being.
Yeah, and that means that, like, normal weapons probably can't even hurt it, and your guys' weapons are specifically made to take it down, and your garb, your armor is supposed to protect you from most of that shit, and it didn't, because this thing sucks. So, like, keeping it contained seems like it would be a near impossible feat, except for the fact that Sam, like, levitated the damn thing in the air where it literally couldn't move or touch anything, and even then, it was, like, spewing that acid everywhere. Not to mention, if it gets away from you and it's able to weave an illusion like it did the night before or to hide its cocoon in the first place, even Sam, who knew it was there, couldn't see through it the second time.
The longer Sam starts thinking about it and, like, pictures the farmhouse and what Sam's seen of inside the farmhouse, and then, like, thinking back to the acid eating through the ground, Sam, like, makes a face. Or, maybe we shouldn't put everyone in one place.
Yeah, you have like a brief image flash of what the back of that holding cell barn looked like.
All right, this is as much as I could carry in one trip.
You put down like an entire office table worth of books and ledgers and notes and things onto the table.
Jaeger's eyes like glass over for a split second, and then he shakes his head and comes out of it again.
So many words.
I'm pretty sure there was more, though, as I arch my back and my shoulder blades back. And he's going to go walk over to the wardrobe and find a shirt.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That acid didn't feel very fun.
I will say, canonically, whenever you wake up in the clock tower, you're wearing your normal garb.
I know, but I'm picking out something that I can... when I go back.
I just imagine Berret like going through, knowingly moving things aside, pulling off like a nice, comfortable, like collared shirt and putting on a smoking jacket and being like, okay, I'm putting on glasses. What is Berret's like comfy clothes he puts on to start sitting in the couch doing research?
Probably just like a normal sweater, like a very open knit, like just slightly baggy. Just because he's like a thin dude, but anybody else would look like a pretty well-fitted sweater, but yeah, just a cozy sweater.
So we see Berret go over to the wardrobe and take off his like fluffy collared clock tower jacket and his bowler cap, and he like hangs it on a hook that you guys have never seen on the inside door of the wardrobe, and then he like moves the racks of clothes to the left as if he's like sliding a slider in a video game looking for the right thing, and then he stops as if knowing exactly where something was, reaches in and grabs out like a comfortable like hand knit sweater that he puts on and like shakes it, like puts it over his head and shakes into it. And as Bink described, it looks a little baggy on Berret where it would look well fitted on just about anybody else. Berret, roll.
16.
So usually any clock tower garb you would get would be perfectly fitted to you. It's baggy because it's Grin's sweater.
I know, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, we can... What?
Oh, right. You've never used that before, have you?
Wait, we can...
I've lived in this for as long as I have been here. I could have changed.
There's got to be something else you guys don't know. As I look around, don't touch that. Okay, that's over there. I think, you know what, I'm just going to say, yeah, that's what you get to know for now. I guess we'll learn everything naturally. As I sit on the couch and like kind of fluff my sweater from like, so I'm not like uncomfortable.
Do you pick up some of the research and start going through it?
Yeah.
All right. I imagine that's going to take Berret a second. I'm really like desperately curious what Trinket is doing after being like ripped away from like mid life or death combat to like, we're going to read some books now.
Get a blanket.
Well, I mean, sitting on the couch, I feel fine now.
You do absolutely feel fine now.
So
It just was kind of abrupt.
Yeah. Well, by the time he comes down with the research, I think I've come down.
Okay.
So I'm also going to start looking through these things because I think Trinket barely really knows. Like, I know that you guys are talking to this kid about us existing, but that's it. So I'm like, what does he know actually? And does this kid know something I don't?
Who the fuck is Jasper?
Like, I never even met him.
Are all of you gonna start going through these research notes now?
Jaeger's like looking at, like watching all this, like you guys getting set up for research, and Jaeger's like kind of goes, I'm going to practice my quick shots to make sure I can shoot the creature if it tries to fly away, just in case. And then he's going to like woodenly meander up the stairs away from the research area and grab like a little small like he's gonna pull like grab like a little small little small book like a small one that like his book that he would have put into the place itself. He's gonna just lob it over the stairs and fire a shot at it in like skeet shooting style.
Everybody make a Constitution save.
To be fair, he didn't think about this. He just decided to do it so he could avoid the research.
13.
18.
12.
How bad is it?
It's a 4.
You fire the gun and it is so loud in the clock tower that it makes your ears ring. Anybody who got below 15 also is like jump scared and like, ow! Everybody else who got above it was like, nope, and managed to cover your ears before it went off.
That was way louder than I thought it would be. Never mind.
It's still echoing in the clock tower.
No, that's what he's yelling in the back.
No, I know, but for
everybody,
everybody, it's still like it goes all the way up and then comes all the way back down again, somehow louder than when you fired it. And it's like, it's only after a couple of minutes that Berret goes, and takes his hands off of his ears, realizing that it's finally faded away.
I look up at you with great disdain.
He's like poking his head over the top of the stairs, sees you look at him, slowly just descends.
You see the brim of Rock's hat just like
just
catching the
Rock's
rim
hat just like hits the
folding
stairs
over.
and folds over on the side. It just doesn't say anything. Just,
Sam is just standing there frozen like, what? You know, you set off like, people have like freeze response. That's Sam right now, just like totally like,
I'm gonna just pull Sam down onto the couch very slowly.
Sam's ears like repop. Ow. What? Ow. Why?
Seconds, you're fine.
Why?
Trinket, I think you were just sitting on the couch the whole time that happened. So for you, it was like, pop, ow, okay. Oh my God.
Why? Anyway.
just
Jaeger is going to sit up there and feel a little ashamed of that. Everybody else, what check should you roll for researching a bunch of papers and books and
Investigation?
things? Yeah, absolutely.
Great job.
And you guys have like a literal unlimited amount of time to go through this, so roll your investigation check with advantage.
Right.
I rolled 2 12s.
I rolled 2 6s.
What the heck?
What the hell?
13.
Yeah, 13 total.
9.
Trinket, you managed to grab one of the reference books that this kid was using, and it is some of the driest, hardest to understand shit you have ever read. It's literally talking about like magic and Arcana's effects on like time and like the laws of physics within that world, which like, it's funny because all the worlds you've been in, as solid as everybody in their own world and like unbreakable as everybody thinks their laws of physics are, they differ greatly from world to world. And this book sucks. You learn almost nothing that you don't already know about, like, wow, every world might be different. And it's like the majority of this book is theoretical. It's like, it is them wondering, and then even some things, you're like, it's possible that other worlds might have other things going on, and you're like, no, not only is it possible, it's just true.
Sitting there checking off like, that's true, that's false, that's true,
Yep.
that's true, okay.
Yep.
Well, like I'm grading.
And the worst part about it is that the tone of the person who wrote about this is like, now this may or may not be true, but what I've surmised is that the possibility that it maybe could be this thing, but also it could not be this thing. So when you look at this, you really have to understand that it can be one way, but it could also be the other way. And you're like, make a statement.
New goal, hunt down whoever wrote this book.
Reads
New
page,
enemy.
rips it out.
And unfortunately, Berret and Sam, a lot of the research is like that in all these different areas. Sam, you find a book that's all about how white blood cells protect the human body from foreign infections and all kinds of shit, and you read about that for way longer than you would have liked to.
Macrophage.
You look at it and you're like, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
So, like, so they just like inject a defaulty code into it and it explodes the germ? Do we do that? Do I do that?
I am gonna say, Trinket, you learn almost nothing. Sam, you got above 10, right?
13.
You have advantage if you have anything in the future that comes up involving white blood cells after reading this book. You know how those work. Very well. What did you get, Berret?
Same thing, 13.
13? Yeah. Your book is about the history of the area, which is like widely very boring. It talks about the geological like composition of the rocks, and like it has like very detailed sections about soil samples from the Red Rock Mountains around you. And you read all of this thing, and then you finally get to a point where you stop and you're like, there's evidence to show that like ancient societies might have made their homes in this area when it had a lot more water and like moisture coming through, that the like seas have shifted from where they were and sea level dropped to the point where everything here dried out. And people think that like in that area might have been where like the origins of the arcane started in those mountains.
Okay. I think I might have something? I don't know what you guys found, but
I don't ever want to look inside like anybody. This is so gross.
What? Yeah, I got nothing.
well, I guess you could say Jaeger dodged a bullet. As he looks up for approval.
Sam just looks confused.
I'm sorry. All right, here's what I found. I found at least something of merit. There's a location over here that is deemed the origin of Arcana itself. That might be worth checking out if we make the time.
At the hint of something interesting, Sam immediately closes the biology book.
So here's the thing. You guys are like coming together with the information you all learned. Trinket learned almost nothing. Sam does not want to look into another thing about white blood cells ever again. Berret, you have the information now that the area that this ranch is in, not like on top of it, right? But like in the general area somewhere in that like landmass is like maybe the origins of magic. You don't know. Nobody has managed to find it because it would be digging through literally mountains of sand. And people have tried and they just haven't found anything. You guys are like a fourth of the way through this research. And it has been hours. Jaeger, what are you doing?
Well, as Jaeger's up there, the hat hasn't moved from that position on the banister. However, Jaeger's not in the hat anymore.
Okay.
Jaeger left the hat behind as a decoy, and now he's hidden in like one of the deepest possible into the bookshelves, looking for something that might give him an idea of what could make acid not work.
Okay.
Like
Roll
he's like
a
acid.
perception check.
Yeah. Okay. 15.
The only thing you see, because you're like on a random spot in the bookshelves, and you don't know, like most of these books are organized by a system that Berret knows and hasn't explained to anyone. And it like even still, some of Barrett's organizations got messed up when all of your guys' books got like filtered into the shelves at random. It's like when you very carefully organize your bags in a video game and then accidentally hit the organize for me button. So like some of Barrett's organization is still there, but not all of it. And the only book that you can see that has anything to do with acid is on the spine of the book. It says The Incredible Acid Man.
Ooh. Okay. It's got pictures.
And you see it.
It's got pictures, finally. And
you guys hear echoing from the top of the bookcase, it's got pictures. And not only does it have pictures, Jaeger, this book is mostly pictures. The words are contained within small white bubbles that seem to be pointing to whatever character is saying them.
why is this is literature. This is actually makes sense. I don't know why you would just fucking put a bunch of words on the paper instead of having descriptions and visuals. It makes so much more sense. It's so much better. Okay,
As you look at this book, right? It says like there's a 2 on the spine as well, and you look over and you see there's one next to it that has 1, and then there's 7 other books that all have the same thing on the spine and a different number at the bottom.
I'll start from the beginning.
True research.
And he switches off, and with that, Jaeger like settles down into like a little cubby, like out of sight in the dark, and begins reading through this highly important research paper known as The Adventures of Acid Man.
The Incredible Acid Man.
The Incredible Acid Man. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is very important to my research for this fight.
Okay. In that case, what are the rest of you doing? Are you guys doing round 2 of research?
I think that if it was presented, Sam's just like, yeah, absolutely, and just backs up and just falls through the mirror.
Oh my God. Well, how can we convince the mother that we are what her son has been researching? Is there something here we can show her, or
We could just bring Jasper with us.
true?
Trinket, roll a perception check with advantage.
17.
As you are like, is there something here we can show her? Your eyes cannot help but catch the light of the lantern on the table that is sitting there like a small sun contained inside of a lamp.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
You okay, Trinket? Kind of spaced out there for a second.
We could bring that with us.
Oh,
Berret, as Trinket notices, says, you could bring that with us. You look over, your brain had purposely deleted that light from your vision. You see it, and you Trinket is unable to be affected by the ominous aura that lantern has now, but you still are looking at it makes you feel icky.
well, we just kind of lost our lead professional lantern guy, I guess. I don't know what you know about that.
I don't really know what all I can do with this or anything.
I don't know what you should do with that. Well, I mean, if you're so inclined, everyone else didn't want to hold it for very long. I don't want to hold it at all, to be honest. But
I'll try to touch it. I'm going to try to hold it. I'm going to try to hold the handle.
Okay. Usually, it goes, you touch it and I make you roll a wisdom save against how it makes you feel. However, you rolled a natural 20 a long time ago to not be able to be affected by the main sort of fear aura that this lantern has. And so for a brief moment, you feel a feeling of constant fear, suffering, anguish, and this dread that every moment is about to be your last moment. And then unlike Sam and Jaeger, you feel this, and it's not foreign to you. For a second, it's like you're right back in the cell under that blue light. And then you realize, you steady yourself almost immediately, and you feel that there is something else about this lantern that for everybody else has been this nebulous concept of not being able to know what it is. And you can feel while holding this lantern, you feel your whole family behind you, as if they're trying to talk to you, but they can't speak. And you're the only one who knows how they're feeling right now, stuck in that moment. And it's almost like for a second, as you grab the lantern for the first time, you feel the phantom feelings of other hands touching yours, and you're not afraid, but they still are. And you know their names. And you can feel them trying to talk to you, but they just don't have a voice.
So Trinket is standing there with her hand on the lantern, just completely frozen for unreasonably long.
Berret is kind of almost afraid, holding the biology book at one of the corners and ready to prod you toward the couch.
I was literally going to say, it's like when if anybody's ever worked with electricity before, you know not to grab someone if they're being electrocuted, so Berret's getting ready to
Drink it.
I know what this is.
Pulls book back.
We can take this with us. I don't know if it'll convince her of anything, but we can try.
Roll an insight check.
6.
You don't know why or how you know, but you know that Sam and Jaeger are really afraid of the light in the middle. You fought the light once, and it feels in this lantern like that light is as bad as you felt it in the first place. But there's this other feeling that you almost can't describe. But the only thing you know about it is that the lantern is holding that light in place, and they're not going to let you down.
Yeah.
Especially with you holding it, with it being in your position, you have that same wordless understanding of people who can't speak to you, things that you can't really comprehend, and just this almost unintelligible gut feeling of if you have us, we got you.
Nice. Yeah.
Bear's still looking at you like you're on fire, but you're fine with it for some reason.
That is exactly what is happening.
Trinket, you look there's this feeling that you have, almost like you feel something tug on your belt. And you look down, and there's a latch for the lantern.
Okay. I'll attach the lantern to my belt.
No, did you? Oh. Okay, yeah, sure. That'll work, I guess.
It's weird because Trinket seems almost more fine now than she's been in a minute.
Berret is shook. Berret's a little afraid of you right now.
Almost, especially Berret, from your perspective, it's almost like Trinket. Trinket might be possessed now.
That's what I'm kind of like.
Yeah.
You're all right?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes. I'm more sure that I'm all right than I have been in a long time.
Squints eyes. Are you Trinket?
More sus.
Well, I guess that's taken care of. Looks back at the mirror that that Sam just went through. I guess we could let it go, and we can follow it, hunt it down then, and in the meantime, convene with...
Since I've marked it for death, don't I know where it is?
You're not in the world yet, so it
I mean, when we go,
when you go, you'll know where it is.
Yeah, so...
no matter where it goes.
Yeah, when we go in, I know how to find it, I think.
More than that...
I'm certain I know how to find it.
If you guys were to roll it back, because you did this in the side story. If you guys were to roll it back to a point where you haven't marked it yet, you still just can, as long as it's within 60 feet of you.
Nice.
You don't even have to see it.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I think you do have to see it. I think you just have to see it. But if you can see it within 60 feet of you,
But
you've already met the
I've
condition of
already
it's
hit
hit you and you've hit it.
Nice. So, yeah.
Okay,
We'll find
so
Yeah.
well, hopefully it doesn't get into too much trouble while we do what we need to do.
I mean, if it gets too crazy, we can always start over.
Oh, that's a refreshing thought. All right. Jaeger! Jaeger?
You vaguely hear the voices, Jaeger, but man, this guy you're reading about, he was a bad guy. He was like born with the powers of like corroding anything he touched and turning it into acid. And he had like a run-in with this guy named Super Dude. And it like he had a fight and they were like enemies, and then one day they had like a heart-to-heart on a rooftop where the incredible acid man like had a heart-to-heart saying that like he doesn't want to do this, but he's got this terrible curse, and they like come to the realization together that this curse could be a power if he just learned to use it for good. And like he went on an adventure to be a superhero. And like, you've never heard of that before, but it is one of the most awesome things you've ever encountered.
Rock should have read this book. Rock would have loved this book. Did any of his like rogues gallery? I don't know if I've been able to read through all of them yet. But
You are like halfway through the first volume.
got it. Cool.
By the time, because it started with like how the incredible acid man happened, and that was that whole sort of like prologue that you read, and now you're into the point where he's currently chasing down a guy who can touch cars and bring them to life.
And I thought my life was bad. Shit. Okay. Right. So, when Jaeger hears somebody calling him off inside, he goes, "I'm a bit busy. I'll be back later. I'll be down there as soon as I can. But I'm doing something right now."
We have to go. We have to go like now.
We literally don't.
Sam is just floating in the space. We must go to him. He like was loading basically, right? Like when you go through, nothing happens till we all go through.
Right, nothing happens till you all go through.
He's just in the nether.
You don't feel it.
Yeah,
you don't know things.
but he's there in my heart.
All right, okay. Jaeger, what's taking you so long? What are you holding up?
I'm doing research.
What?
I'm researching.
You like look at all the pile of research on the table and like look back up and you're like, there's some more research up there.
What are you researching?
I'm figuring out our acid problem.
Acid.
You rolled the best insight check you've ever rolled, and I'll let you fucking know. Or, you know, a history with advantage.
I'm doing history with advantage. Okay. 21.
You like think about it for a second and you're about to turn away, and then you're like, is he reading the comic books?
Are you reading The Incredible Acid Man? Jaeger?
Maybe.
Those are mint condition.
Well, they'll stay mint I don't know what that means, but they'll stay mint
It
condition
means
when I'm done.
get your grubby hands off of those.
No. I'm learning.
Can't be fucked up. They literally can't be destroyed.
It doesn't matter. it's the principle. It's the principle.
I don't know what that means, but
I went through great means to track those down individually. Jaeger, get down here right now.
no.
You know what? Fine.
You go through the mirror? Yeah. Okay. So here's another weird thing. You know how before, if you were alone in the clock tower, you'd be like really worried about, even with the wardrobe pressed in front of that door like freaked you the fuck out? You feel like you could fight that door and kick its ass.
That's weird.
Like, for some reason, it's like the dark is a lot less scary
Right.
when you have this lantern with you to just light it up.
Sure, but I know better.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure.
in my mind, I'm like, lantern, no.
Yeah, you do get a distinct feeling from the lantern, like, we could take him.
Lantern, no. No. No, we can't. We really can't. I guess I will also walk through the mirror and wait in the limbo until because at least I won't know how much time is passing.
I was like, I know how much time I spent
man.
reading those,
Nap
and I
time.
can only imagine how long it's going to take Jaeger. I know you're very well, versed now, but some of that art's really good. We're all just looking at
There's like
Jaeger.
one party member waiting to confirm.
Yeah, no, Jaeger is quite literally just sitting there, flipping through pages, reading, like studying the picture, continue on. He's just going through. And he's like, if I get this all done, maybe I'll figure out a way to just neutralize the acid situation.
Well, Jaeger, you don't really ever figure out how to neutralize the acid, but you do learn a lot about the incredible acid man and the heart within him. Hey, it's me, Ellie again. It's the second episode of the Neo Crunch editing binge, which means I don't have a lot to say as an update. So instead, I'll say since this is coming out privately before Neo and publicly after Neo, to everyone supporting us on Patreon, going to Neotropolis, I hope you have an amazing event. And everyone who went to Neo, listening to this publicly, I hope you had an amazing event. And to everyone else, I hope you had an amazing day. Now, on to credits. If you would like to work with us or collaborate with us in any way, contact us through our website, ClockTowerAgent.com. Berret was played by Bink. Sam was played by Cal. Trinket was played by Kball. Jaeger was played by Trent. And I, Ellinthris, was your DM. The voice of our disclaimer was Valak Donahue. You can check out all of his work through patreon.com/themadlanddreamer. All music from Season 1 of Clock Tower made by Who's Music. If you would like your own D&D music commissioned, you can contact them and find all of their work through their website, whosisthis.com. Or find it in the description below. Thanks, Who's. Additional music and FX provided by Andrew Smith and Cal. Thank you to our editing team and Cal for making the episodes what they are. Thank you to our sponsor, Alpha Lupine Images, for donating the equipment to help us make more content with better quality. And thank you again for listening. Clock Tower Season 2, Episode 33, will be out for all of our early episode patrons May 10th, and will release publicly May 17th. Till then, time's ticking. See you in the Clock Tower.